Okay, France have beaten England 24 points to 17 in Paris. At one point they were 24-0 up not long after half-time, but it was 17-0 at half-time. First time France have nilled England since 2004, and they went on to win that game as well. Rattez's try after 5 minutes shows what having flair in the French backline can do. Teddy Thomas was brilliant when he had the ball in hand. The few times he had the ball in hand, he made line breaks. Rattez was very lively with ball in hand. He deserved his try after 5 minutes, but he played well for the entire 80. He wasn't overawed by the occasion. Entermac had a perfect day with the kicking team. He converted all 3 tries plus a penalty. After Oliven's try on 19 minutes, there's a bit of luck in there, but it comes from an England turnover. England were really poor ball in hand, into contact, a lot of mistakes. Set play completely was a mess. They had a brief period when they scored their 2 tries in the second half where their scrum finally worked. Oliver, first cap as captain. He was brilliant in the World Cup as well, and he scored 2 tries today. And both of his tries come from England turnovers and being very, very quick to seize upon the opportunity. And he scored his the TMO had to be involved. Was there a knock-on? It came off courtly laws, according to the TMO. It's a 50-50 decision there. But England can't blame the TMO for being 17-0 down at half-time. They were absolutely poor. Beginning of the second half, they had loads of possession. About 10-12 minutes solid possession, and you can see this is a Sean Edwards defence. He's coaching the French team. Their fitness is much better. Clearly over the winter, Sean Edwards with Fabien Galtier, they've worked on the French fitness. There was no slacking off. This was a younger French team as well, which is crucial. Only one player in the squad was over the age of 30. That, I think, tells you something. They've gone for a more younger, fitter lineup. It paid dividends. Oliven's second try comes again from an England turnover on 54 minutes. They've been battering away at the French line for what seemed like forever. The percentage of possession was at one point 60-40 at this point, and for all that possession they were doing nothing with it. Very sloppy. I think Sean Edwards would have liked that from his defence, and he would like to have defended a lot. I think they've got a good basis to build on going forward. Oliven's try, it comes from Dupont. He was brilliant. He put some big tackles in for a scrum half. He was putting some big hits in. Turned the ball over, sniping run, gets the ball to Oliver. Try. Then there's the fracas in the corner afterwards. Was Cowan-Dickie a bit late in? Was there a bit of an elbow or a forearm to the head after the try? Don't know, but it spilled over. And Nigel Owens was very, very clear to the players that talked to both captains Farrell and Oliver. No more of that. Entermac converts, and that's the end of the French scoring. It's 24-0. Now that little coming together in the corner seemed to turn England, wake them on. They turned on, they woke up. But it comes from Johnny May, something from nothing. Going straight up the middle, battering away at the French line was very reminiscent of the Wales game last year, where they did exactly the same tactics and lost. They look very one-dimensional, but Johnny May created something out of nothing. He gets the ball in the wing, chips it, chases it, runs down, scores. His second try, again individualistic. He created something out of nothing. He beats 5 defenders, but the amount of defending the French had done by this point in 64 minutes, are you surprised he scores that try? A little bit. Some of the French backline hadn't got a lot of, hadn't seen a lot of the ball, hadn't necessarily made a lot of tackles themselves, but he outpaced Teddy Thomas for one of those defenders he beats, scores a try, Farrell converts, and then for the last 15 minutes again it was battering away one up charges, trying to bat away at a very organised blitz French defence. And they kept turning the ball over, sloppy handling skills. Yes, the weather wasn't helping, but they were held. George Cruz was held up over the line again. Entermac, Dupont, these smaller French backs, actually not afraid to get stuck in and do the tackling, do the dirty work. George Cruz held up multiple scrums. The French scrum made a few changes. Bamba is not the best scrummager. They changed the hooker over. It helps, but England weren't good enough. Set play, a line out, scrum, it just wasn't good enough. France, okay, towards the end of the second half they were starting to tire, had a lot of time without the ball, but when they got down England's end of the field, they scored. When they entered England's 22, they scored. Plain and simple. When England entered France's 22, it took 2 bits of creativity by Johnny May to score. Otherwise, they didn't look likely. Even when they had the ascendancy in the scrum, they were constantly knocking the ball on, poor passing, getting turned over. I think there's some issues here with England. I think the World Cup hangover has continued. This French side is 19 new faces in the camp. That was different from the World Cup squad. There's 19, new players in, although some of them have played before. But you can see this French side was playing with positivity. They were playing together. It was a defensive unit that worked. When they did get ball in hand in the first 15 minutes, they were actually outplaying England. They were winning the 50-50s. France deserved that win on the basis of very solid defence. England were absolutely poor, shockingly poor. And this now opens up the Six Nations. I don't think France will go on to win a Grand Slam, but it does make it now definitely a very open Six Nations. We now know what French team could turn up. A very well-drilled, fitter French side, which is younger, exciting. When they do get ball in hand, they've got a bit of flair. They can create stuff. They've got some striking ball runners. And in defence, they look far more organised and well, they were enjoying it. They were enjoying defending for 70% of the game. All the top tacklers were French. They were enjoying the physical side of it that they haven't enjoyed for 10 years. The scrum could be their weak point, but they overcame that weakness with solid defence. England, poor. So at the end of the first weekend of the Six Nations, England, yes, they get a losing bonus point, and that could prove crucial, but they've got a lot of work to do to massively improve if they are to try and regain the Six Nations title. I don't think there's going to be a Grand Slam this year. I think France have now completely opened it up. They could be the dark horse. But thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.